Welcome to the Magical Link, where we like to translate the correlation between our physical world and the world beyond, bridging the gap of understanding and basically letting you all know what the actual F is going on. Brought to you by your favorite psychic sirens, otherwise known as Kimmy and Mel. Hey Mel, what's up?
Hello, Kimmy. What's going on?
Not much. How are y'all doing? I hope you're good. I hope everything is going okay for you. Yeah, we're just going to talk about some stuff today and pull up a chair, get comfy. If you're not following us already, give us a follow because we know the way. Well, at least we're figuring it out and we'll show you.
We'll try anyway.
Yeah. So, Mercury retrograde. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, that hurt, that one.
Yeah, it was a biggie. It was a biggie for everybody in different ways, but yeah, it was a biggie.
Yeah, we're still going through the post shadow of it a little bit. We've still got about a week and a half of that to go, just so you know. So there's still kind of stuff lingering around with it. So if you haven't quite come out of it yet, that's why. But yeah, it's been, I don't even have a word for it. It's been.
It's been tough for different reasons. Like normally, for me personally, Mercury retrograde is usually a time where old acquaintances or other kinds of people show up in my life, and at this time that wasn't the case, but it was more like old feelings, old
wounds.
issues,
Yeah.
old wounds coming up for that kind of retrospect and kind of reflecting on them and seeing them from a different perspective, actually.
Yeah. Well, usually for me, it's the old wounds getting poked and triggered, more so than returning people, because I think I pretty much dealt with that a very long time ago.
Right.
But
yeah.
But, like this one, my kryptonite is delays. Oh, it is. And I think for me, this one was patience because I don't have a lot of it. I really don't. I try really hard to, but I don't. That's also partly the being on the spectrum, right? It just, patience doesn't happen naturally for me.
No, it doesn't. I know. My son is the same. He doesn't have any patience, so I get it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was just delay after delay after delay after delay. Like my car, as a lot of you know, was in the shop for the entirety of the Mercury retrograde and the pre-shadow. The entirety of it. Like I didn't have it for 6 weeks. So I had to find other ways of getting around, getting things, lots of different things I had to figure out, which was fine. It was just the annoyance of it.
Right.
And the patience getting triggered. And also communication too. That was a big one. Things coming up with communication, people trying to pull a fast one. Or, that's another big one for me because it's one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't try to get shit past me. I'm fucking psychic.
Right.
And when you do it, it annoys me because I know you're doing it. Stop it. Like I've already forewarned everyone. You're not smarter or better than my gifts. You're not going to defeat them.
Right. No, so, it's true. Pulling the fast one.
Yes.
I agree.
Stop trying. Like, stop trying to get away with shit with psychic people. It just doesn't work. It just annoys the crap out of us.
Right. It's true. For me, the Mercury retrograde, not only about the wounds coming up and resurfacing, but it was also miscommunication, but as far as like what I was sending, like anytime I would send a message, autocorrect would change everything I was trying to say, and sometimes I would press send, forgetting that we were in Mercury retrograde, and it was like, what is this? So I would try to edit as soon as I possibly could. And sometimes I just didn't catch it or I couldn't change it. It's like, oh my gosh, or thinking I did press send to a message when I didn't.
And you didn't.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh no, what's this? I didn't even send the message.
Yeah.
So it was those kinds of things that they were very. It was more of an annoyance than anything else. It really wasn't about being razzled by it. It was just like annoying, like more annoying at myself. Like I should know better. I know what this time of year
Yeah.
is. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, what was it? I can't even remember what I was trying to say to you, but it happened between the two of us. Do you remember?
Yes.
I wrote it out like 3 times, and I kept changing it, and it changed it back right when I had sent. It's like, I wanted to check my phone across the room. I was so mad, but it was so funny at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's true. Or just kind of like, when you react to a message and you press a certain emoji, the wrong emoji is being pressed. And I was like, what? This doesn't even apply. At one point,
this isn't even close to the other one. How did that happen?
Right. Yeah. I would want to press a heart, and then like the sad face would come out. Like, what does this even mean? This is not even near each other. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, crazy stuff with communication. Yeah. People really misunderstanding tone.
Yes.
Too, via text and stuff. So I was like really wary of that. So when I was going to talk to anybody about anything important, I called them.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. Me too. Because again, you can't really, unless you are psychic, you kind of can pick up on the energy of a text message.
Right.
But a lot of people aren't tapped into their psychic abilities, so they won't understand. And you can use the same phrase for different situations, and if you don't pick up on where the context is, you can really misunderstand somebody, and it gets people into some serious trouble.
Absolutely.
So I get it. Or even the electronics with the Mercury retrograde, my electronics were kind of all over the place. My cable box would turn on by itself even after I turn it off, or it would switch channels to channels I don't even watch. And it's like, where's this coming from? Yeah, that was happening to me too.
And my I have a Roku too, so it kept disconnecting from the Wi-Fi. So I'd be in the middle of a show, and all of a sudden it was loss of connection. That doesn't happen normally, right? Just during Mercury retrograde. But again, so annoying. So all these little annoyances and delays. That was what I got really hit with, and the communication stuff and people's moods. Whoa, what is going on there? It's like, I understand shit's not very fun right now for anyone, but that's the point. It's not right. It's not fun right now for anyone.
Right. Yeah.
There just seems to be added anger.
Well, we're in Aries season.
Oh,
and we have Neptune and Saturn in Aries.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have Neptune and Saturn in Aries as well. There's a lot of Aries energy and fire horse, Chinese, it's all connected. And so it's going to take very little to trigger us or get us to a point where we're going to be harsh with our words, and our actions we're going to basically do first and then think later and maybe regret if we're not careful. So yeah, it's the same way here. It takes very little to get someone to be triggered, and then sometimes we act rashly or harshly, and then we think about it like we could have handled that a much better way had we stopped and just settled in a little bit first before we talked or yelled or whatever the case may be. So yeah, this is the energy for that. This is, hey people, it's Aries season. This is how it is.
Yeah, but that's also on the good part of it. It's also going to give us that fire for taking action on things and sparking of creativity and things like that. So yeah, if we can lean into the good parts of the Aries energy, not like every sign has good things and bad things associated with it. So like not just Aries, but
Right.
yeah. But yeah,
No,
Aries is very fiery.
Yeah, it is. It is. But the good thing is, being that Aries is in Saturn and Neptune, whatever we dream about, which is the Neptune energy, the dreams, we can actually, with hard work, with the Saturn energy, we can actually create those dreams and manifest them in reality. Whatever we dream about, if we're willing to work hard for it, which is Saturn, of course, then it can happen, and it can happen quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. We really, this is the perfect time to start that new, that venture, that new, whatever thing that you dream about doing. This is the perfect time to start.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just had,
you know what? I'm sorry to cut you off, but we have no planets in retrograde now. So this
yeah,
is the perfect time
to
start that, to start whatever venture that may be, whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, because with no planets in retrograde, it's like we have the green light.
Yeah, yeah, we have this little reprieve for at least the next 6 weeks or so. So this is a really good time. And we just had equinox energy. So that's that whole blooming with everything that was planted, and seeds have to start in darkness, right? So we had to have that period of winter, that dark period, so everything could kind of be nurtured and things could be shed away that no longer served. So we can have this blooming period now.
Yes, absolutely. This is the, planting seeds and watching them grow. This is the time for that. It's true. So, in speaking of astrology, and I mentioned before that during this Mercury retrograde, even way before that, I have been dealing with a lot of my Chiron wounds. And I'm a Chiron in Aries, which is where we have been for the past couple of years. It's going to be moving into Taurus, I believe, in the end of June. And so anyone who has Chiron in Aries, or really any placement in Chiron, you might feel a shift from now to June. Like there may be, it's almost like the last degrees of a sign when a planet is moving from one sign to another. You tend to feel this kind of ending energy. So you might have a lot of stuff come up more spontaneously to be released, because of course, as we know, when a planet moves from one sign to another, or a heavenly body like Chiron, whatever that looks like for you, you're going to have this sense of urgency to kind of release whatever needs to be released, so that it's almost like starting a new page in a book when you move from one planetary object to another, or one sign to another. So for me personally, my wounds in Aries, which is the wound of not feeling good enough, or not feeling accepted for who I am, or not feeling like I'm not heard and I'm not seen. Those are all Chiron and Aries wounding. And so I've noticed that the past couple of years, but especially now, it's been like I'm supposed to purge it, and I have been. So a lot of the things that I noticed, certain people triggering me with this wound, with these wounds, and dealing with it, and learning how to recognize that, and just kind of dealing with it, so that I can finally move away from it, and maybe it won't be such a serious wound in me that you constantly, when you're working on yourself, you're constantly getting these layers of the onion peeled over and over and over again. So this feels like, I think that when Chiron does move from Aries to Taurus, I think that maybe I'll finally find the end of that onion. Hopefully, I mean, maybe not, maybe yes, maybe no, but maybe it won't be as severe or as triggering for me when the wound does show itself again. But I've noticed that towards this end of Chiron and Aries, I've really been working on these wounds of the things that I just explained. And I think that maybe, collectively speaking, each of our wounds are kind of shifting. They're shifting. We're able to handle them, maybe look at them in a different way, with a different perspective, and maybe we can finally release a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've had like scraping the very bottom of some of those triggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot too.
Yeah, so I know for me, the Aries energy is definitely, I love Aries energy. My Mars is in Aries, so I tend to be very active in taking care of things that I need to take care of. So, in doing so, of course, working on my Chiron.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's painful at times, but I know that on the other side of it, I'm going to feel so much better once I can release some of these things that are constantly creeping up. So, I mean, I love Aries season. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's tough, but it's fun for me.
We're definitely, like, remember last time we were talking about how we were going to see more, like, slip of the tongues and people exposing themselves? Yeah, so the one for this week is Chapel Roan.
Oh, what happened with her? I didn't hear anything.
She is just a spoiled, entitled little brat who's completely lied about her whole entire past. And she's just mean to her fans. She was really mean to Jude Law's daughter, not knowing it was Jude Law's daughter. She cries boundaries all the time, but her boundaries are trying to police other people.
Oh.
Yeah. And, trying to get sympathy with her phone, like, because paparazzi are around her, and she's like, I've asked this person to leave me alone, and I've asked this person to leave me alone, and they won't, and I've asked this person to leave me alone, and they won't. Okay, I get that can be annoying, but what I also understand is that celebrities know where the pap spots are.
Right.
They know this. There's not just paparazzi hanging around on every corner of the world waiting for a celebrity to show up. It doesn't work that way. There's specific places, like avenues. I think Robertson is one in Hollywood where they know. And certain restaurants, you go to the private dining room if you don't want to be bothered.
Right.
Or sit inside. If you sit out on the patio, you're going to get photographed. They know that.
Sure,
so don't show up at these spots and cry victim. Like, it just annoys the crap out of me. And yeah, her whole come up was about how, she grew up with no money and all that stuff. And no, it actually turns out that her grandfather's like a multi-millionaire, and he sent her to Grammy camp to the tune of $3,000 a week, and all these other advantages that she had that she failed to mention. Not that that's a bad thing. If you have those advantages, great. Take advantage of them.
Right.
But don't lie about it and pretend to be something else.
Right.
And
don't cry poverty.
Yeah, and cry boundaries to try policing other people.
Right.
Like what happened in the hotel with Jude Law's daughter was she had noticed her. She's a fan. And she wanted to see if it was really her. So she kind of walked closer to her and had a look, smiled, and walked away. She sent her security guard over to tell her that that's not appropriate. And that, like, this is an 11-year-old child. Yeah, and then she denied that was her security guard. But then later on, people confirmed, yes, in fact, it is.
Oh, wow.
Like, these...
she's a kid.
Exactly. And you're famous because you have fans.
Right.
And don't sit out in public and then get mad when people recognize you.
Right.
And, it just bothers me. It really, that entitlement and that kind of like, they're violating my boundaries. You showed up at a paparazzi hotspot. What?
Right.
Like,
what
you
do you
can't.
expect?
Yeah, and that's the part of boundaries people don't understand. You can't use it to police other people's behavior. So she can say, I have boundaries, and then show up at a major paparazzi hotspot and expect them to be like, oh, Chapel said she has boundaries, so we'll all stand
Right.
back and let the queen walk across. It doesn't work like that. No,
Right.
you set a boundary for yourself. If you don't want to be in that situation, you don't go there.
Exactly. Right.
You know?
Exactly. You can only change your own behavior. You can't change the behavior of anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what it is. It's just about control. And
Sure.
she's just a fraud.
Excuses.
Yeah.
It's excuses. That's all that is. I want to do what I want whenever I want,
Yes.
and I don't want anyone bothering me. But you know what? You're a celebrity, and you know as a celebrity, you're going to be subject to people wanting to see you, wanting to talk to you, wanting your autograph, wanting attention. If you don't like it, don't go to places where there's people.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just annoying because now she's crying that it's a smear campaign because she left that certain agency because that agency was in the Epstein files and all this, and because she speaks out on this and she speaks out on that. Okay, listen. Two things can be true at the same time. She might speak out on some things and she might stand up for human rights, and she could also be a terrible human being.
Yes.
Okay? One doesn't cancel the other out.
Right.
Yeah, she still needs to be held accountable for her behavior.
Sure.
And it's not a smear campaign. People are telling the truth about behavior that she has shown. That's not smearing. That's truth. Sorry.
No, it's true. You know, if you want to be considered a good human being and just have the intention of being one, then you should be consistently following that energy, following that with your behavior. Or else, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's just you pick and choose. Oh, okay, I'm going to do this good thing, but the rest of me is going to be not so nice. Then you know what? You're not so nice. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No. And don't come for me in the comments, please. Anyone who's a big fan of hers and you want to tear me up because I've told the truth about her. Because to be completely honest, you're going to waste your energy. Because if you went up to her in public and smiled at her, she would essentially, in her mind, be like, get away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She
So
doesn't
who
give a
wants to be a
crap
fan of
about
something?
you. So won't bother wasting your energy trying to defend her for being wrong.
Right. Well, it's
I
true.
see too many people doing that. But that's another thing. The light is being shone on this whole celebrity bubble of nonsense.
Right. No, it's true. More and more is coming to light about celebrities. So, yeah. I'm not really surprised.
Did you see the dirty, rotten scandals on Bob Barker?
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I want to. Did you watch it?
I did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was it really bad?
He's a horrible man. He's a horrible man.
Yeah.
And we knew that. And the thing that bothers me the most about it, too, is we all knew it. It was all the information was right there in our faces. It was in the media, and we all just kind of brushed it off for some reason and just kept thinking that he was just some great, wonderful old guy. No, he was a terrible racist and terrible misogynist and just a gross human.
Wow.
But see, that's the thing. All these things are being brought to light.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. You know what? Pluto and Aquarius, all of these things that are going to come up. It's just the way it is, you know. We're shining a light to all the stuff that's been hidden.
Yeah.
Or that we just didn't want to see. Not even that it was hidden. Is that we really didn't want to see it until now when it's in your face.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it was in our faces then and we didn't want to see it. And I'm just as guilty of that, too. I was you know.
Right.
But, you know, at the same time, some of us didn't pay attention to tabloid stuff either. But, you know, it's in the same principle. It was still there. We just failed to acknowledge it.
No, it's true. It's true.
But we spoke about that last time, too, with Timothy Chalamet. Because his comments, that wasn't the first time he'd said that, almost that exact word-for-word phrase.
Right.
It had happened numerous times before, and nobody clocked it. You know?
Well, they called it monster, so there you go.
Yeah.
I'm really glad, too.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. But Michael B. Jordan deserved it. Definitely.
Oh man, he was fantastic as the twins on Sinners. In fact, it was a great movie. His performance was amazing. So he deserved it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they did it one on America's Next Top Model too, and that documentary also came out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So shining light on how wrong that was. And I remember being a fan of that show for the first couple of seasons, and then it was like, I'm bored with this. But looking back on it now, like, oh my God. This was acceptable. What?
Yeah.
How? You know, the things that I think back to now.
Right. We just accepted things the way they were, and nobody questioned it, and nobody was outraged about it, and we just kind of went with the flow, and it was like, okay, well, I guess this is what society says is okay, then we should just be okay with it. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Yeah. No, when you go back and you see it through the eyes of conditioning, it's just so disturbing. You know, we talked about this last time, how all of those players in the files owned all the stores. So they shaped how we looked. They shaped how we smelt. They shaped how we acted, because all of the television that was around at the time, like look at what we were watching. All the reality stuff was coming out then. And, you know, I love Holly and Bridget. I think they're great girls, and I think they're adorable, from Girls Next Door. But, like, that shaped it, too. You know, that whole patriarchal, just there for the male gaze.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We're shifting. We've been shifting for a while, and so that's why these things are not acceptable anymore.
Yeah.
They're just not.
And that's why we can't look away from it. We can't. It's in our faces all the time. I know, like, I'm sick to death of hearing the files. But
I know.
we have to. And we can't stop talking about it either. Because when we do that, that's when the apathy kicks in, and it resets back to the way it used to be. And it can't be like that.
Right.
You know? Again, like we discussed, there's got to be moments, especially if you're a sensitive person, when you know you need to step away. Right? Because you're just absorbing too much. But at the same time, we have to be observers. So, yeah.
Right. Observe, but not absorb. That's the way it has to be.
Yeah, there has to be balance to the energy. And speaking of that, I talked to y'all last time about making eclipse water, and I know a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that, and that's okay. But if you wanted to start off a little gentler, this full moon that we have coming up April 1st, April 2nd is in Libra. So Libra, the good energy of Libra is balance and harmony. So you might want to collect some moon water for that. So anything that you want to bring some balance and harmony to, even yourself, you can drink it. So you don't have to get out there and collect it before the sun rises. Okay? A lot of people will say that. You really don't. Just make sure that if you put it outside, if you get out there and collect it before the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Okay, so you have lots of time. You can either do it on April 1st, April 2nd. It doesn't matter which. Yeah. And that's a good one to start with. And if you can't put it outside, just put it in a windowsill.
That's what I do. Yeah. I just put it on the windowsill.
Yeah. Yeah, there doesn't have to be any tricks to it. You just set it out with the intention of collecting the beautiful energies, beautiful positive energies of the moon, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially a Libra moon water is nice for balance, and you can even stick like a rose quartz in it for that amplified love energy added to it, especially if you're going to drink it, you know, and rose quartz is safe to put in water, so it's fine. Yes,
you definitely can. You can put clear quartz in water too, guys. You can put amethyst in water as well.
Right.
Another thing it's really good Libra moon water is good for is cleansing.
Yes.
cleansing your space as well. It can bring balance and harmony to different rooms in your space that need more harmonizing, or that have high traffic, or after you've had company over, just to kind of clear and harmonize the space. And just put some in a spray bottle and put a couple drops of Florida water in there. That's usually what I do. Or whatever essential oil that you like. You could use like a rose or lavender, give it a little bit of scent, and just give the rooms a spray. So I like to just grab a spray bottle from the dollar store and then take like a Sharpie and put like a rune on it, or a sigil, or draw like the triple goddess symbol and the moon, something. Just whatever comes to mind. That's the most powerful witchcraft. It's not about following somebody else's words or somebody else's instructions in a book.
Right.
It's following your intuition, and that's the old ways, right?
Right.
Working with what you had.
Yeah.
And what the land provided.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I was going to come on last week and talk to you guys the equinox and give you some little magical things to do for that, but I just didn't have the energy. I felt so drained. I felt like someone had seriously just hooked up a shop vac to my energy. It was just, I needed so much more. I'm not going to say sleep, because I haven't been sleeping the greatest. But I've needed a lot more rest lately.
Right.
I know you have too. You said that to me the other day too. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple of days where I really couldn't do much of anything. It's just, talking about how strong the energies have been, and I live with 3 other people. So, and then when my son does come for a visit and he stays for a substantial amount of time, he's a big energy. So, it just, as an empath, how draining it can be, not only to be around other people's energies, but when 2 of the 4 people really require care. I mean, I'm sure that I've shared with the listeners that my mom has dementia and my youngest son is autistic. So, they require certain care consistently. And so the energies, together with the Mercury retrograde, all of it was kind of really compounding on me for a couple of days. And it was like I did require a lot more rest than I normally give myself.
And I'm going to add in there, too, that her husband is a Leo. Charles, sorry, not trying to throw you under the bus, my dude, but you do require a lot of energy and attention, too.
Big energy, yeah. Big energy. Yes, my lovely Leo husband.
Yes. Yep. So she's got more than just those 2 she mentioned.
Yeah, it's a big energy. My mom's a Libra. She's a big energy too, because she's not the healthiest version of Libra that she can be, but she is 83 years old. So, and then with the dementia and all the other kinds of difficulties and challenges that she has daily, all the time, it's tough. And my son, the autistic son, is a Gemini, and many placements in Gemini. So he's a chatterbox. He loves to communicate. He loves fun. He's just
is he stellium Gemini?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. He is, and he's got Aquarius in him too, and he's going to be 26 in May, but he's got the mind of a child, so he's like 6 or 7, really, cognitively speaking. So it's kind of interesting to see this young-minded person in such a huge body. He's 6'2", and he looks like a man, but he's got such a childlike wonder about him that he really just helps my inner child. So I enjoy it. His interests, they're very varied, but they lean towards the childlike, the Sesame Street, the Wiggles, Barney, that kind of, he likes those things, or the teenage kind of shows that are out there too. So very varied, and he's very intelligent when it comes to things that he's interested in, like flags of the world. He's got about 300 flags of so many different countries and states and cities and religions and everything, like you can imagine. And it's just my inner child is always being worked on with my wonderful son, and I appreciate that. Like I love him so much. I love both my sons so much, but his sense of wonder and childlike tendencies really help my inner child to stay happy. So I just love it. I love it.
That is good. Yeah. Aw, that's cute. I have a stellium too, but I can't remember which sign it's in, and I can't remember for the life of me too where my Chiron is.
I think yours is in Gemini.
I think it is too. I think my stellium's Gemini as well.
I think so. Your moon is Gemini.
Yeah.
And I think your Chiron is as well, if I can recall your chart. I think so.
You know better than I do, because I usually ask you.
I know. I think it might be Gemini stellium.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I have my whole chart in Vedic astrology and in like Western, all of it, in my phone in places because I never remember.
Yeah.
I can't, that's just, it's something I've had it there so many times, and for reasons that I do not understand, my memory just does not keep it in there.
Yeah. Well, maybe because for you, it's not as important to know.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, so it's just not a priority for you to know that, and you can always just ask me, and I can always what you need to know about it. So maybe it's just not a priority for you. It's not it's just not a priority.
No, because I think things just come to me in a different way. And I interpret them a different way other than astrology, maybe. I don't know if that's how my mind works. But I have been so mad at myself so many times because it's like, you know this.
We all do that. It's like, oh man, come on, you know this. Why isn't it coming to me?
Yeah, no, it just it won't stay in there. Oh, yeah.
It happens. That happens to me now. I used to be really good with names.
Yeah.
And now when I'm trying to think of a name, sometimes I'm having a little bit of an issue coming up with the name. Like if I see a show or a movie and I recognize somebody, and I'm like, what's that person's name? Or the title of a movie that I've seen that I can't remember. And it's baffling because I was so good with that. And now I'm not. So maybe it's just not a priority for me to know those things either.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to have a photographic memory with phone numbers too.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't needed that in a while, so I don't know if it's still active, but I used to. Yeah. Back in the day. It's weird because I think part of it is I'm in that weird in-between space in all of these things. Because in Western astrology, as most of you know it, there's 12 signs. No, there's not. There's actually 13. There's a weird one that starts with O. I forget what it is now. See?
Orpheus.
That's the one.
Orpheus.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
The weird in-between Sagittarius and Capricorn. Although I have a lot of very Capricorn and very Sagittarius traits, but all of the Orpheus. All of it.
Okay.
So I'm in that weird in-between space there. I'm also generationally wise. I'm a Zennial. So in that weird in-between space between the millennials and the Gen Xers. Not quite old enough to be Gen X, and I'm not quite young enough to be a millennial. I'm in that weird in-between space. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I've felt in that weird in-between space my whole life in a lot of places.
Yeah. I think we all have. If we really stop to reflect that. Like, we all don't fit in one category or another. We're kind of in between more than one.
Yeah.
So it stands to reason. I've been there. I feel like that all the time about certain things. So, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. The sun's out today. That's nice to see.
Yeah, here too.
Mm-hmm. Is it warm
It's
there?
cold.
It's
No,
cold.
it's cold.
Yeah, it's still a little chilly here too. But most of the snow is gone at this point, which is
too.
nice. The big banks are still coming down slowly. They're still there.
Right.
And at this time of year, I hate it because they're all so dirty and gross. You just can't wait for it all to go away. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
And the grass is all still brown and crusty. Yeah. Need the snow to go away and have a good warm rain, and then everything is good again.
Yeah, but I see on the trees the buds are coming out, and it's so great. You know, it's like this weather's really upside down. But March is kind of like that. We get both. We get cold and then we get hot, and it feels like whiplash sometimes. But you know, we know that beyond this, the weather is going to start getting warmer and warmer, and that's great. Can't wait. I'm for it.
Yeah, and I don't think the sun set last night until it was after 7:30.
Yeah, I know. That was nice.
That was nice. Yeah, I cannot handle the super short days, the getting dark at 4 o'clock. I just cannot. I cannot.
It's true. I know. I'm not a fan of that either.
No, it puts me in such a weird, bad space. It really does. I know it's not just me. It does that to a lot of people, but...
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Yeah. I need to move environments, I think. That might be part of the plan for me. Because I don't like winters here anymore. I don't. I'm sorry, my Viking ancestors. I apologize. But I am a big freaking wimp, and I hate it. When I was younger and I used to do lots of things, like, it's so weird. I remember going to, because I lived very close to a ski resort when I was younger. And I was very blessed to have a season's pass there. So skiing, snowboarding all the time. Overnight ones too, in the ski and snowboard-a-thon and stuff. And this is like in minus 30 Celsius weather. Didn't faze you, you know?
Yeah, I know. The bones and the joints.
I can't handle it. I just can't.
I know.
And all the shoveling. Oh my God! If I never picked up a snow shovel again in my life, it would be too soon.
I know. Yeah, I mean, shoveling sucks for me as well, but I know for you get so much more than I do that it's tough.
Yeah, and I have a double wide driveway, which turns into a single wide driveway in the wintertime, because I eventually because the banks get so high, there's nowhere to put it, and I get mad, and I just push it. It can just fucking stay there. I don't care.
Yeah, just let it melt when it melts. It's true. There's nowhere to put it when there's too much snow. It's like, what do you do with the snow?
Yeah.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah, and I don't have a snowblower, so it's just me and my shovel. Yeah.
Me too. And you got a lot more property than I do, so it's tough.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm tired of it.
I know. I hear you.
I think all the time, anytime I complain about that stuff, I think back to like those times. Like how did they clear the spaces in between their little houses and stuff like that? And they had to do all that stuff too. And here I am bitching about it, and I have so many more options.
I know. But, you know, as we get older, it becomes a little more challenging for us to handle these situations, right?
Well, that's true. Like, look what happened. And I hurt myself doing exactly that, shoveling. And it has taken a year and a half.
Yeah, we don't recover as quick.
No. And, oh, man. Yeah. It sucks.
That's how it is.
Because you think about it, I mean, you used to like bounce around and roll and fall, and nothing ever did anything. Now, broken bones and torn ligaments and
there's no more bouncing.
Forever healing.
There's no more bouncing. We don't bounce back. We just bounce and we fall and we stay.
No. Yeah. No, 6 weeks used to take for healing. Because I used to be pretty athletic. Well, I still kind of am. But, so I've had some injuries over the years.
Yeah.
And that was it. With some physiotherapy in that 6 weeks, and that's the end of it. You know, a year and a half. And I'm still, you know, just at this point, just getting almost back to normal. Crazy.
I know. That's how it is. Once upon a time, it wasn't this way. But you know what? Now we're paying for what we did back then, too.
I know.
You know, our bones remember, our joints remember, and now they're letting us know, oh, remember when you used to do, you know, when you used to bounce, and when you used to do skiing, and when you used to jump a trampoline, and you used to run and swim, and, you know, fall down, and it was no big deal. Now it is a big deal because we're paying for it.
Oh, yeah. And I've had some falls. Like they have a little snowboard park at the back of the ski resort where I used to. It was Horseshoe Valley for anyone who's around this area. But, yeah, I mean, I try to keep up with the boys, of course. You know me. So I want to do the same tricks that they did.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes I did a better job. Sometimes I didn't.
It's a good memory regardless, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah. It is a good memory because that was back when I had a lot of firsts with a lot of things that were firsts. Like when the whole rave scene first happened, right? That was, it was underground. So we used to go to Toronto. We'd go to a specific record store and buy tickets. You don't know where you're going. You go to Nathan Phillips Square and a bus shows up for you and takes you to an unknown destination. So like in a warehouse or somewhere. But it was crazy. Yeah. And then snowboarding, like that was just starting to happen too. I was one of the first girls that did that out there. You know, and that was cool.
Yeah. All those fun memories.
Yeah. No, I have not been out there in years.
Yeah.
And it's so close.
Would you want to go back? Would you want to go back? See what it's like?
No, I would probably really hurt myself.
I hear that. Maybe do it in a more gentler way. Just to feel it. I don't know.
There isn't really a way to do skiing or snowboarding in a more gentler way. Because if you fall, you fall.
Well, this is true.
Right? You could go down the bunny hill and still fall and hurt yourself.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Or just the same as you could on a black diamond. Yeah, I don't know if I would still snowboard at my age now. But I would probably still be very good on skis, I think. It's been a very long time. But I was on the race team with that in high school with that too. I was pretty good at that. So.
That's good. It might be like muscle memory.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I have really good balance because I'm still I do yoga all the time. But I think that might be a safer option. So if I had an offer to go skiing in Aspen for free, I would not turn it down. I would go. Yes.
That sounds fun, right?
Yeah. Or Big Bear. I always wanted to ski Big Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's not my jam. I used to go snow tubing and I loved it, but I had an accident on a snow tube where I banged into a tree.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
I created a herniated disc in my back. So yeah, it became a whole big thing because I banged it really, really hard.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I did it a couple of times, but that was like the last time I did it, and that was when I was 19 years old. That was a long time ago.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I mean, but it was fun. I still did like a sledding after that. I just didn't do the snow tubing because it was
well, yeah.
bad. Yeah.
I remember when they first brought that out to Horseshoe too. My kids were little at the time, and I took them. And where they had it set up, there's a big drop-off cliff on the other side, and they have one of those orange plastic big net things to catch you.
To catch you.
And nobody ever made it even close to there. So, you didn't even think about it. But Talus, when he was probably like 4, I think, and he was so tiny and so light. And he went down and whipping down and went up over the lip and over. And
oh my God.
Yeah, we were like freaking out. Everyone's running, and he was caught in the orange part of the net. But like it was so far, nobody ever went down. But since he was so light and he was going so fast, the conditions that day, and he still remembers that. No, he didn't get hurt. It just scared him. But he still remembers that from being that young. He remembers being like having the plastic mesh in his face and just looking down at this complete drop off. Like, if this fails, I'm going to fall. Yeah.
Wow. That's a trauma for him.
Yeah, because he still remembers it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he went back after that.
Guess he wasn't that traumatized.
No, he remembers that moment. But yeah, he went back many times after that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Brave.
They changed it up after that. They made the hill at the back higher, and they reinforced the big orange mesh plastic net thing, and yeah.
It worked. It worked. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Goodness.
Wow.
Thank God for that.
See if it worked. And
yeah.
There you go. He proved it worked. Wow. Thank God.
Yeah.
The things that happen. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. All these memories coming up too. It's so weird. Notice that.
Yeah, me too. I've been noticing lots of different memories that I didn't even remember. They're coming up. More vivid dreams.
Yes.
Like my dreams are very vivid now.
Yeah. So, same.
And very symbolic. So, paying attention. I've been paying attention to the dreams and trying to write them down when I can remember them, and really seeing what do they mean? Like, what are they representing for me? And they make a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been having a lot more lucid dreams recently too. And even in like my naps, if I fall asleep for like 20 minutes, just one of those little power naps, I'm still like having a dream in there. So I'm still getting into that state, which is interesting because that's not something that usually happens for me anyway. So, but I've noticed that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really surprised.
Yeah. It's been weird for sure. But take advantage, guys, of this energy and this little reprieve of retrogrades that we have.
Yeah. Get on those, whatever your dreams are, whatever goals, whatever plans, whatever things you want to take care of or start. This is the perfect energy for it.
Yeah. Just take a little action step towards it, whatever it might be. Even if it's just opening your mind up to another option.
Right.
Just even something just tiny, or if your intention is to move, right? Pack a box. Something like that,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. The universe loves steps. Any kind of step physical action step that we take, even if it's just writing a plan down and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of doing something. If let's say we want to plan to clean our house, you know what? Start with one drawer in one room.
Yeah.
And that's a step. And, spirit loves steps. Spirit loves action. The universe loves action. So that's all it takes to create some kind of momentum and get things done.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've been doing the same thing. It's interesting you brought up the cleaning stuff because I was struggling with that too because I had so much I wanted to do, right? Spring cleaning, right? But I just started doing different rooms. Like yesterday, I shampooed the carpets and stuff in here, in my office, and cleaned up everything in here. So this room is done.
Right.
And now my mind's not so overwhelmed by it because then I'm thinking about how many carpets do I actually have left? Because there's only one in this room, and I did my big rugs too, so they're already done. So now it's less, so it seems less overwhelming. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that's all it takes. It just takes one little step to start, and you can just, if you follow that and just one small step at a time, you'll complete whatever it is that you want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you'd be surprised. Yeah.
And I think we'll probably leave it there for the week, guys. That sounds good. And remember, you are always making your own magic. Okay, so get out that pen too, because that's really, really powerful. That keeps coming up too. So, yeah. And until next time, we want you to stay magical.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
See you later. Bye.